live. Link is going out.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
And I'm VZ, still at Mark II.
The Mark III isn't complete yet.
Yes. It's been a little while now.
It's been a while, and we can actually say that because it hasn't been like 2 weeks like it normally is. It's been a month.
Yep. In the meantime, a lot of things have occurred.
Yes.
All right. We'll get to the watching stuff in a minute, but some recording equipment, which actually still hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah, no. So recording equipment is in the process of being obtained. However, has not been integrated in a new setup yet.
Yes. So thank you,
Two,
FedEx.
I have a new setup.
Yeah. As you can tell, the Haro is still there, but for how long we don't know.
Yeah, no, the Haro's getting thrown out. I'm going to 3D print a new Haro, and that will be the new Haro. But the Apple that's been there for the past 87 years is getting thrown out finally.
Is it starting to smell?
No, it actually really has been pretty well preserved. Like, and I don't know if that's something to be concerned about with either the Apple or the conditions here in the war room. It is, as a matter of fact, if organic material isn't decomposing in here, it's probably pretty good. But
I know why.
The fact is, there's no microbes in here to break down the Haro into a pile of goo.
I know why. Because it's probably.
What's your hypothesis?
Because it's probably waxed.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, it's probably good. That's okay. It depends. Take it from the guy who used to work produce. It really depends. I don't actually think they wax produce as often as they do anymore. What they do is they just have it go through rollers, which make it look like it's been waxed, but actually has not been waxed. But
yes, this isn't Brazil.
Bottom line is the Haro still here until I throw it out, and I'm probably gonna 3D print a new one, paint it up green, make it look nice,
merchandise it.
Oh, yeah.
Sell the Apple Haro.
Yeah, it's a Haro you can eat.
Except you can't because it's made of ABS.
You can still try, but
you can try. You can still eat it. It's probably not going to be good for you, but
I mean, yeah,
it is in fact. You can ingest it. It's not going to help you.
You know, yeah, technically you can ingest car paint too, but it doesn't mean it's a good idea. Anyway, a couple interesting things. Lots of natural disasters going on. Fortunately, none of us have been hit by them this time.
You know what's going to happen, right? Like, as soon as hurricane season is all up in here for like the Northeast, we're going to get hit with, like, it's not even going to get be a hurricane. It's just going to be a meteor or something like that.
Yeah, but then
the asteroid's going to come up in here and hit this place in very specifically.
Given recent events, North Korea maybe.
Yeah, that thing would never even get over here.
No.
Well, NTR Radio is offline due to North Korea.
No, that would be more because we're laughing at them. Not because they're a threat.
Anyway, I have actually made some new purchases. Well, okay. To start, if you're looking at the video, you'll see that my entire setup has changed. Realistically, this has been the setup since the episode we did a month ago, before we went on break for a month. But my entire setup has changed. My setup is now in the opposite corner of the war room. I have a lot more space. I still don't have room for all my figures.
And
it's so nice. Like I
I'm just laughing thinking about you with like one of those cans of air going to every little nook and cranny, just making sure there's no microbes.
Listen, I got 2 of those down there. I did some significant dusting when I rearranged this entire setup. But
I need to do my room as well.
It's really nice. I bought a new monitor because the old monitor is stuck to the walls and I don't want to move it. So I bought a new monitor, one of those widescreen monitors, like, was it 21:9 or whatever the aspect ratio is?
Yeah.
It's so nice.
You got the biggest shit-eating grin. That's the face I imagined when you were trolling the people at the fucking con.
It's the exact same smile. but I set it up and it's so nice and crisp and looks fantastic, and all this screen real estate that I didn't previously have.
Screen real estate.
So more. I didn't need. No, I needed like more sidelong screen real estate until I bought a widescreen monitor. It's fantastic.
Indeed. No major purchases here. I don't consider a book a major purchase.
What did I get recently? A couple of weeks ago, 2 Figma came in.
Okay.
Rico from Love Life Sunshine and Miki from Idolmaster.
There we go. SU-37 or whatever that plane is.
Yeah.
I actually bought some anime too.
Oh, imagine that.
Number one is after years and years, I finally own Cowboy Bebop. Number two is
insert noise here. Anyway.
Number 2 is I got I believe it's the Complete Agent Ica.
Oh yeah, I've got those.
And I bought the Girl Who Left Through Time.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that movie.
My question is,
I bought it anyway.
My question is, what is the capacity of said girl leaping through time? Is she looks skinny on the cover, you know? Like, can you imagine it's like someone that's really, really big and just trying to run and leap through time, but they don't make it and they just kind of fall.
Like
end up like in the past.
Time transmission has a weight limit. Like you can't transmit above a certain mass. It's like going into space.
It's like an elevator where they got like a certain capacity they don't want you to go over.
You got to run at 88 miles per hour.
And you leap.
Yeah, exactly.
They get stuck in the freaking
in the portal.
yeah. They don't even fall through time. They get stuck like in the portal, and they're just like spinning around like question marks and stuff floating around.
So the front half of them is stuck in the sky in 1919, and the rest of them like 2 legs comically kicking up and down in modern times.
Yeah, it's like how they powered the the Flintstones mobiles. Like you just see the legs like sticking out of the like a cumulus cloud, just like.
And like you can't even help them because it's like you can't apply butter to a space-time portal.
Yeah, it'd just be like a really bad Crisco commercial. We're so gonna get lots of hate mail for this one. But I was thinking about that, the girl who left through time, because I got this image of some chick running at full speed and jumping like through the air, like one of those like freaking gum commercials or something, you know, or one of those like Mentos, like Yay or herbal essences kind of things or something. Running, jumping, and just being like they're busting through the wall kind of thing. But in this case, it's like they get stuck in the gravity well, like.
You get stuck in the singularity and you just fall. Now you're just falling forever. For all time, you're just falling.
Or again, like you said,
to the outside observer,
the feet are like the feet are like kicking out of freaking clouds, and like air traffic control towers are like, what the fuck is going on here? They're like, we're seeing some feet.
Flight 139 from Nebraska just flies by this kicking set of legs traveling through the sky.
Yeah. It's one of those like almost like, do we hop into the Langoliers? What is going on here? Playing Footloose.
Now you sound like a fast food drive-through.
Well, I was emulating like a bad walkie-talkie transmission. If you've ever had one, you know what it's like when somebody's got this like dead, like frazzled out sound where you can't understand what they're actually saying. You can hear them talking, but
we tried that once at a con with cheap walkie-talkies, and it really did not work out.
What was it like?
You need to get the good ones.
It's like over.
Well, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't even hear them. Like you hear something coming through, but there's no speech. It's unintelligible.
Yeah. So
get the good walkie-talkies. That's the point of this entire tangent. Is get good walkie-talkies.
Do not get the 10-for-1 sale.
Let's talk about shit we've been watching.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Can I go first?
Yes.
Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and I'm so pumped about Legend of the that show is so right up my alley.
See, I don't know. To me, it looks like the opposite of what for what I like, but that's just me.
It depends, because so here's where I realized that this show is right up my alley. When they were doing the first big space battle in like the first 2 episodes, and I saw myself predicting the best tactic in every situation. And okay, so the Empire is gonna go this way, and then they're gonna try and circle around to save people, but it's not really gonna work because it's such a heavy military strategy and tactics in my favorite kind of setting, which is like just epic interstellar warfare type of thing.
Right.
I'm sitting here kicking myself like, why wasn't I watching this earlier? This is amazing. Show's fantastic.
Right. It's one of those ones I put on the back burner, mostly because I've never found any really. Well, for one, there's only really one way to get it.
Yeah.
Well, no, Sentai has the license for it now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They do?
Give money to Sentai. Let's go.
Yeah, that was a big deal because it was one of those shows that people tried to get years here for.
Interesting, because
which again, it could have. Maybe back then it could have sold to like the really like hard sci-fi people. Or I mean, no, actually, it's more space opera, but you know what I mean. The type that go to sci-fi conventions.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing like I could see people who are into like old school sci-fi novel, like old school military science fiction, getting into this show, and like that's me. Like I'm that military sci-fi dude.
Okay.
So Legend of the Galactic Heroes is so my shit right now.
Also, the characters are like German, or it's like extremely like German aesthetic.
Like, yeah, you can see like they're definitely making some references with some of these names and some of the aesthetics. It's particularly with like the Imperial forces, where it's supposed you know who's who nationality wise as far as drawing parallels to Earth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And here's one thing, and every sci-fi anime needs to listen to me right now. So they're doing the shit in Legend of Galactic Heroes, and the ship comes by and blows up, and it blows up next to the ship. And here's what I love. The control room is in the core of the ship. You ever see this and you ever wonder how it makes sense? It's like every sci-fi work puts the control room in a place with windows.
Yeah.
It baffles, like Mobile Suit Gundam. All the control room it's all this huge place with a bunch of windows looking out into space, and I'm like, someone can shoot through that, right?
Well, it's just like, well, I want to be able to see when I'm gonna die.
It's like,
because it's visualized like a car or airplane or spit, or
yeah, that's ridiculous, because especially in Gundam.
He's thinking in terms of schematics.
Yeah, because I'm also a design nerd. Go figure. So, especially in Gundam, where the tiny craft that are going around shooting these things through the windows are piloted from, like, this isn't BattleTech where the core of the thing is just taken up by a huge reactor and you can't sit in the torso of the mech. You have to sit in the head with windows. This isn't like that. This is like super advanced. We're sitting inside the torso of this machine and we look out through monitors. Can't we just do that on a large scale? In fact, it's going to be both easier and cheaper to do that on a large scale because miniaturization is expensive. So why is the control room of the ship, like the nerve center of the ship, displaced with a bunch of windows? That never made sense to me. But Legend of the Galactic Heroes, my man Legend of the Galactic Heroes puts these control rooms in the heart of the ship, the place with all the armor and the rest of the ship around it.
Yep. It's interesting you brought that up because I finished up watching Band of Brothers. I've seen it before, but it'd been a while. And it was pretty enjoyable from what I mean, as enjoyable as the subject matter could be. I mean, really.
Naturally.
I still don't buy David Schwimmer as a fucking drill sergeant, though. I'm sorry. That just doesn't. It's not believable to me. He's Ross from Friends. I mean, so that was pretty cool. Again, not anime related, but speaking of battles,
I saw something else, and I don't remember what it was. I have been sort of keeping up on gamers from the current season, but I fell off on that. And that's really the only show I got. Oh, no, Aho Girl.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. For such a simple premise, you'd think, how did they not come up with this before? So, okay, the girl's an idiot, a complete idiot, and she loves bananas, and that's the show.
And the main guy's always punching her.
Yeah. Well, that's just a natural outgrowth of her being a complete idiot.
Are we getting complaints about that yet?
Oh,
yeah, I've seen complaints about it. I've seen complaints about it.
Okay, yeah, I figured as much. It's like, yeah, every season there's pretty much at least one show that has some bullshit in it that has.
Well, that's what Tenchi no 3P got.
Oh yeah, I was watching some shit on that. People flipping out about that.
I'm like, you do realize this is done by the same person that did Roku Boo.
Well, it's not even that. How do you watch that? How do you watch that anime and not know what you're getting?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
Like, do people and this is a serious question. Do people just watch anime 100% sight unseen without seeing any screenshots or promotional material at all? This is something I've been on for.
I certainly have amnesia.
Well. How? Here's the thing that doesn't make any sense.
There's no way I'm going to accept that explanation, VC. There's no way I'm going to accept that explanation.
How is it that you can sit there and watch these shows, every freaking season, and then you come across the same old shit and act just as outraged about it every time?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing that doesn't get.
It exists, so it bothers me. That
it's someone. Just like, I'm so mad that this thing is there.
I don't want other people to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no, this fictional character hit this fictional male hit this fictional woman.
I don't know, man, because it's just like, how do you even watch the show? Okay, you don't like lolly anime.
Right. It's not what I was talking about, but I see your point.
this is what I'm talking about. You know you don't like lolly anime. So how do you end up watching Tenchi no 3P? You know what you like and what you don't like. If you've watched like 2 anime in your life and you watch Tenchi no 3P and you end up not liking it because you discover that you don't like lolly anime, I can understand that. But these are people who like.
I didn't know that was something you discovered. I mean,
I'm giving people the hard benefit of the doubt here.
Fucking people with stovetop hats sitting there. I really don't like this. I've discovered I don't like this thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like giving people the hard benefit of the doubt. But if you like know you don't like this stuff and then end up watching it, this is the same argument I had with C3 Boo back when I was arguing with Zach about that. It's like, oh, show, and you don't like guns. You're gonna watch C3 Boo, and how do you end up watching that show?
Well, what did he say?
No, that's not my issue. That's not my issue with him. My issue is that there's no reason to put that in your review because you can get that just from looking at the promotional material of the show. And this is what I come back to. Are these people just watching anime sight unseen?
They look at the promotion. They look at that, like the little chart thing, and they read the description, and then they judge based on that.
Then they shouldn't watch Tenchi no 3P if they're.
Well, the image for Tenchi no 3P didn't look like it just had the 3 girls with the instruments, so maybe they were thinking it was like a K-On or something.
And this is just me being super rational, which means I'm an idiot for thinking this way. But here's
one search on Google.
Yeah, exactly. If I was that viscerally turned off by that material, I would give Tenchi no 3P a wide berth. I would wait for someone else who's less fastidious about anime to watch it and give me the yay or the nay on whether or not this is that kind of anime that I don't like.
Well,
if I was that ridiculous about what I watch and what I don't watch.
But they're stupid.
But I mean, can't.
Oh no, I understand that, but it's their fault. If you choose to watch this, if you know you don't like that kind of show and you choose to watch the show, it's your fault. That's like people who watch Boku no Pico and are really freaked out about what's going on in Boku no Pico.
Don't watch it. Yeah.
Did you not see anything? And like, if you're given it and you're like 12 and have no concept of what anime is, I can understand that. But I'm saying, like, if you,
quite frankly, if you gave that, hey, hang on a minute. Quite frankly, if you gave that to a 12-year-old, I would say there's a lot more wrong with you than just that.
Yeah, that's suspect. But the point I'm making is, if you just have no concept and you're given it to watch, I can understand that. But how do you seek out Boku no Pico, not look at anything related to it, and watch it and get freaked out? I don't understand how that happens.
Well, again, not only that, but I don't know if they're still there.
I do understand why it happens. It's because people want to be freaked out.
Okay, but I mean, aren't things like Random Curiosity and stuff still around?
I don't know.
Where they basically do the episode by episode, like Screen Cap Palooza type deal.
I as far as I understand it, a lot of those blogs just petered out.
Really?
Those people,
they went to Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the episodic blogs petered out, and their authors took to Twitter. That's what happened. I don't know if Random Curiosity is around in particular. I've never followed them. I've only heard of them, but I know what happened to a lot of those blogs is they went to Twitter for what they do.
Okay, I'm gonna check real quick.
Field trip.
Well, they updated it with Crunchyroll Expo, so.
Oh yeah, I heard of it.
It must, yeah. So yeah, it's still working, because they got Made in Abyss and gamers and all this other stuff.
Good on them for keeping that paradigm going.
Aho Girl. Yeah.
I'm not being sarcastic, by the way. I think I actually really like that people still have their own like personal anti-blogs.
Let's see.
I really liked that entire method of doing things.
I just didn't have the kind of time or anything like that to ever do something like that. I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you.
They're actually passionate about what they're doing. That's the only explanation I can come up with. And it's a good explanation to be like drawn back to.
Right. So yeah, looks like they're still reasonably going strong.
Good on them.
Although I don't see what's it called now?
Tenchi no 3P.
Tenchi no 3P. Yeah, I'm not seeing that on the ones they're currently scanning.
To be fair, I don't think the people complaining about Tenchi no 3P are also the people following like any blogs.
True enough.
Any blogs at this point is like that's inside baseball.
Anything else?
Any Twitter is like I haven't actually watched a whole hell of a lot except for Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but that's more or less it. I've mostly been working on improvements to the podcast, working on stuff for Yashike, working on the Shinakiba store, etc.
Right. Lest people forget, he actually does run a store.
And I've been busy as fuck with art stuff, so. But keeping up with the current season, not a lot. Honestly, this is pretty light for me. And I'm the guy that usually watches the most, and I'm only watching like 2 shorts and 3 normal length shows.
It's hilarious. That's still usually more than I watch.
Yeah, you already know about Aho Girl and Tenchi no 3P. Battle Girl High School, which is okay. It's extremely average, but I'm one of the only few still with it. It reminds me a lot of Vivid Red Operation.
Right.
Doesn't have that hyper fan service that one had, though, nor the production values. Because Silverlink can't really do action that well.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if you looked at Brave Witches, you could definitely tell they were cutting a lot of corners.
Yeah, I love this one I love this one girl in it. She's kind of like the one that makes the show like worth it for me. Her name is Renge, and she's the of the archetype, the predatory lesbian. I love those I love those. People hate those, but I love those.
Predatory lesbian. Wouldn't that be a good name for an eroge? It would just be so bluntly honest.
That to me, for some reason, I don't know why I would think of this, but that seems like the name for a punk band.
yeah. Oh no, man. Because it would just be all. Well, first off, they'd just be able to find people in San Francisco.
It would be just all danger hairs.
Yeah, I mean, it would basically just be people with septum piercings and all that.
Oh, I hate those. Okay.
You know it's true.
Yeah.
Fucking reverse mohawks and crap.
What I need to do is catch up on New Game Plus. I refuse to use whatever they're calling
New Game
it.
double exclamation point.
I'm calling it New Game Plus. It's New Game Plus.
Okay, well, you know what you do when you buy the show eventually. When you buy the second season, you're just gonna put take the second exclamation point, take a marker, and go like this. There, now you have a plus.
I'll just take some masking tape, tape it over the 2 exclamation points, and write a plus.
I actually was going to say
I'm too lazy to go in and do like with the second eyes. No, I'm just taking a fucking masking tape to it.
No. What you can do is just take a picture like from freaking I don't know, a video game where it has that option, and just snap that, like crop it out, and then just paste it on there.
And then print it on some sticker paper. I need to do this in the most elaborate way possible.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, it's worth being completely ridiculous about it.
It's the school of go big or go home.
I don't know. I still got that funny visual of you, I don't know, kicking some kid's ass on some like Xbox Live type deal, or you know, and making a big deal out of it.
Listen, that was my entire existence for. Like
between this episode and the last one.
I wish that was my entire existence for like the early 2010s. Like kicking people's asses in Halo and Xbox Live.
And
now you can't even find people to play Halo. Well, at least the good Halo.
We have not actually told people how to get in here yet, or to get in.
So
here.
here's the show. You take yourself to ntrradio.net, hit the chat link. That'll bring you to the IRC chat channel page. Give yourself a nickname, hit the button, and join us in the IRC channel. Alternatively, you can take your favorite IRC channel, point it at irc.ryzen.net, and join us in the # or # SLC Media channel. In addition, you can always get at us at the email ntrradio@gmail.net, and on Twitter at TAnubis, at VZMK2, at classic_KGOZ, and at NTR_radio.
Done.
The other thing I'm watching is Hajimete no Gal.
Not one I need to catch up on.
Yeah, I'm like everything that I'm watching is kind of like in the 4 out of 5 category. It's just
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not like anything. It's nothing I would really buy like coming out, but it's enjoyable. It has some art issues though. Sometimes, like the last episode, which was like the was it the beach episode? Was it beach? Yeah, it was the beach episode, and some of the shots looked really wonky. But I'm liking the humor.
I ended up watching, just throw some stuff in there. I finished watching season 2 of Yuri Yuri.
Yeah, I saw that on your timeline.
It's pretty much
still need to catch up on that show.
Pretty much more of the same.
Yeah, that's the way I felt too. More of the same, but it's fine the way.
Yeah, it is, but it doesn't really wow me as much in the same sense, because after you've seen it already, it's just like, oh, okay, you know, it's just more of the same. They didn't do too much with it other than just continue moving forward, I guess.
Here's the thing. I would recommend the OVA that they made a few years later, the one where the studio switched over. But it's entirely up to you if you want to watch like the 3rd season.
Okay,
it's not that necessary.
Well, in any way, beyond that, excuse me. I watched that. Let's see here.
Kyoko's your favorite, right?
Yeah. Plus, you get to see the origin of the meme that everybody passes around, which is you know, Akari.
Yeah.
Being passed around because you know the stupid kind of dancing thing. Yeah. And anyway, ended up watching that. Currently planning on watching Konosuba.
Konosuba is fucking hilarious.
I hear a lot of good things about that.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, so I'm going to end up just watching that. That's going to be one of my next things I end up kind of watching. Let's see here. A little bit in the news category. Gundam Wing is finally making its way onto Blu-ray.
Yeah. They need to slow down.
Speaking of which, I watched the 2 because it's on YouTube officially now on Gundam Info. I watched the first 2 episodes. And
Yeah, but you didn't like it to begin with, so you're.
I remember how
going to be
boring it was.
Dude, Zex Marquis takes down the most advanced weapon known to man in a welfare Zaku. And then just jumps out.
yeah, that's great.
You at least had to find that impressive.
Maybe it was the way it was shot. It didn't make the impact to me.
Well, yeah.
It's the most technologically advanced weapon known to man. This thing could kill everyone. And the dude, copy, very obvious copy of Char, just latches onto it in the paper mache Zaku and just jumps out in the parachute.
It's just kind of like woo.
And don't get me wrong, I get what you're saying with the rest of the show. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it nearly as much as UC Gundam.
No,
but the dude just latches on to.
I do have a nostalgia. I do have a semi nostalgia for the designs because to me, if Gundam Wing kind of ushered in a mini renaissance for robot stuff on toy shelves again, and that to me was very important. That like very early 2000s.
See, I can understand that, but that said, the designs really none of the Gundam Wing designs do a whole lot to me, except for like the Death Scythe and its derivatives and the Wing Zero from Endless Waltz with angel wings
like the
on
feathers.
I like how ridiculous a design it is. Like,
no, dude.
No. They must have been at the drawing board. Like, listen, we've just developed the most powerful weapon known to man. It's so powerful that we can weigh it down with a set of useless angel wings. They do nothing but add weight to the craft, and it will still be the most powerful weapon known to man.
Well, let's be fair.
That's why I like the angel wings, Gundam wings.
Come on, that ties into the yaoi bait element. Come on.
I also like well, that was such a like 90s design thing, like putting feathers on, like very I like Final Fantasy 7 also like had that.
Well, okay, if I was about to say, I recall no other mecha that have
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy is hardly a mecha, sir.
But
but I'm just saying, like that sort of pseudo-Christian-ish look.
Yeah, that doesn't really count though, because almost all Final Fantasy in-game villains are like that, though.
Evangelion. I don't know. It's just to me like this is the very 90s design thing.
I stand by the fact that this is such a ridiculous design that you have to be impressed by it. Like no other mecha did, like no other real robot mecha that has, not that I can recall at least.
Okay,
because you're trying to base it in kind of some kind of real physics, and yeah, let's weigh it down with a pair of angel wings.
No.
Did they do anything? No, they don't like. They don't even block web, do they? The only thing I know they do is the re-entry. That's it. And you usually jettison that. So it's just a pair of useless angel wings they put on to weigh the craft down because they already knew they
I like the Sandrock custom from that too.
I'm super halfway. I'm super halfway on anything but the Death Scythe and that Wing Zero custom.
And what about Epion?
Yeah, I was actually going to say that.
Epion. I got to give props to Epion.
Yeah, Epion's pretty sweet. But let's be honest, that's a dueling suit. That's not artillery so much or anything. That's for up close and personal.
Also,
that's why I like it.
Okay, I got.
No, me too.
Wait.
Because it's got the freaking like thermal fucking whip.
See this piece of tape? I want to put this. She looks cute, but I would want to put this on Relina Peacecraft's mouth.
Well, okay. Let's be fair.
Shut up.
I can't even hate on Relina Peacecraft because she invites the dude to her birthday party. Yeah, the dude says he's gonna kill her. And then she's after him for the rest of the show.
You're forgetting one key important element about that though, and that's that the dub makes her quite a bit more annoying.
Yeah. Okay.
Because again, no disrespect to the person who voiced her or anything, but her voice is much too old sounding for that character.
Well, she's supposed to be. Here's the thing that like what you look up. She's supposed to be. Isn't she like supposed to be like 15?
Yes, which and she sounds like she has a 40-year-old voicing her. So that always sounded kind of weird to me.
See, now they do the opposite in dubbing, where they do the fake trying to sound young, but the people still...
yeah. Let's stop that as a practice, please.
Yeah, that was like me watching the dub for Lucky Star painful in that regard, where it's like, no, these people.
I actually like the Lucky Star dub,
but going
I actually
back,
thought that was fine.
Going back though, two things. First off, one thing about Wing that you couldn't really fuck with is it had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
You really
soundtrack.
You can't really dick with the soundtrack. It's pretty sweet. It's good. And also the costume design, fantastic. Those European,
you can't hate on the
Victorian European kind of like aristocratic kind of vibe.
You can't hate on the character design. You can't hate on the costume design, and you can't hate on the music.
Also,
I don't like the designs very much, but they're okay. They're better than IBO. They're better than. Well,
it was Kunio Okiwawa kind of starting to run on empty.
I'll agree with that.
then Hajime
Jackson Brown running on him.
Then Katoke kind of I'll show you how to make these designs.
Dude, there's a reason Hajime Katoki is my favorite mecha designer. Part of it's that.
But let's go back to one other element. Again, in the tradition of Tomino, a lot of great names. I mean, really.
Let's start out with Zex Murky.
Trace Kushranada. That's my favorite. You gotta love that.
Freaking Duo Maxwell.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was the one with the braid? Was that him?
That was.
You're not thinking of Wu Fei, are you?
Okay.
No. The guy with the braid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's who you meant.
Because I just remember the dub is the same voice as Rat Trap from Beast Wars. So every time I watch it, I was like, it's Rat Trap.
Okay, yeah, that was Duo.
Yeah, okay. Which, by the way, I think we'll all agree with this. He has the coolest name for his Gundam, the Death Scythe.
The Gundam Death Scythe. Also, it's also the coolest Gundam to me.
Oh yeah, in terms of ridiculousness, for sure. I mean, it's like I've got these thermal weapons I can use underwater. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to. It's cool.
This is Gundam Wing. None of this has to make sense.
Yeah. Which again,
it's Angel Wings. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know. Yeah, but
also fun fact: the Death Scythe Hell was my very first Gunpla.
So yeah, but no, I agree with you. I've always thought, because I like thermal weapons in general, and the fact that his is a fucking Reaper scythe, there's just nothing that isn't awesome about that.
You don't really see scythes.
No, like even after that, you never saw that really again.
In no other mecha series.
And that always disappointed me.
Scythe.
Evangelion 3.0.
Yeah, but Evangelion isn't a Gundam series.
That was how long? Yeah, that was how long after Gundam 1 though. So it's like we have this gap where there are no scythes in mecha.
I mean, anyway.
And now someone's gonna come up with some scythe that showed up in this obscure mecha series that 8 people saw.
No. But going back, that'll be coming out toward the holiday season. I'll probably pick it up.
The deluxe set.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
The deluxe set that has like both parts in one, or the individual Blu-rays.
I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
Like I said, I'm in the process of filling in the ones that I didn't already have, which is Double Zeta and Victory and all that. So once I've got those, I'll double up on the stuff I already have and obviously upgrade.
Naturally.
You know, I figure I might as well get the stuff I don't have in any form first. Just that's just logical, you know. It's like, hey,
well,
Victory, Double Zeta, and After War Gundam X have never been here before. Why don't you get those first?
Yeah, it's like that's what I've been doing. Like I started with Gundam Evolve.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Me, I'm doing more of like just the ones I really, really like.
Yeah. Well,
again, you're not gonna find me buying Gundam C Destiny.
Well, no,
you're not gonna find me buying Gundam C. Period. Probably not gonna find me buying IBO.
I definitely want.
I'll pick up Seed. Everybody knows I have a soft spot for it.
I definitely want. They don't have it there, but you know it's coming out in Japan, so by proxy, it'll eventually come out here. 0080.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
That's gonna be so nice.
Yeah, I mean, it already looked fine. It already looked good for its age and all that.
Great. Here's I know very specifically the scene I want to see in Blu-ray. When Zeons are attacking the colony, you see the Zaku jump over the school.
Oh
and
yeah!
Now zooms in on its eye, and you see all the little optics inside the eye.
Sweet.
I want to see that in Blu-ray.
I
understand how much that's good that's gonna be in Blu-ray.
I also want to see the Comfort fucking shit up.
Oh yeah.
I also have a soft spot for 0083, even though some of the characters' decisions are
questionable at most. At least.
You mean anyone's decision to go after Nina Purpleton?
How about we're just gonna have this like prototype with the nuclear weapon right here.
That we're not supposed to have.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that you weren't supposed to have to begin with. Yeah.
This nuclear weapon that we breached a treaty to develop.
Like it's like Annavel's just kind of like, you know.
What's that? It got stolen. Oh, well then. Better make an elaborate cover up that ends up ruining half our fleet.
Why does some of these mobile suits look more advanced than stuff from Zeta?
That would well, it's because well, you know that if you actually know that it came out in like what 91.
Yes. The
Dentropium. Kind of
Why wasn't this thing? Well, I love the way they covered it up.
Why do we mass produce this thing?
I love the way that the way they like just wrote it off in the end. It's like this stuff we just delete in history.
Yeah,
they
deleted all the files.
Let's never talk about it again.
You have to imagine how many development projects Anaheim Electronics had to delete. Like how much of this stuff happened in the interim? All these side stories. Like they deleted all the GPO-1, GPO-2, GPO-3. They probably deleted like all the stuff that happened in Gundam Sentinel, or like the Superior Gundam. The stuff's all probably deleted now.
Well,
they probably have a department just for deleting files just of Gundam development projects.
Well, hell, they delete people.
Hey, it's Anaheim Electronics. They really do whatever the hell they want.
Right, but yeah, I mean, it's like when there was the game that was coming out, I can't remember what the name for it was. It was like 0082 or something like that.
Mobile Suit Gundam 0081. I forget what
I can't remember what the subtitle
is.
Yeah, me either. But in any case,
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, but it turned out to be like a game, right?
That had a bomb ass opening like cinematic too.
Right, but they had they did have
Battle of a Boa Coup and stuff.
But they had the images and the character design kind of line art and all that stuff. It was kind of passing around on the internet, and basically people were kind of speculative. Oh, this is going to be a new series, you know, and then like people were making the jokes. It's like, well, fuck, how many breakaway Zeon fleets were there?
Mobile Suit Gundam 0081. Zeon tries something again.
Again, yeah, somebody made that joke, and it's fucking funny because it's true.
What year did
also the game is Gundam Battlefield Record UC 0081 for the PS3.
Okay.
What timeline was Zeta 0086?
Close, 85, wasn't it?
85?
Yeah, I think so. But it was over a period of time though, so.
Yeah, no, because they did do 0084 or something. the beginning of like
Double 84. When are we gonna run out of secret Gundam projects so we can have Gundams and all of these things? Like, how deep did this development hole go? Because we had the mass production ground types in a 8th MS team.
Yep.
We had the Alex in and okay, we need to call back to Twilight Axis.
Yep.
Because we have the continuation of the like one of these Gundam development teams finally continued a project, and we have the Tristan now.
Gundam. We adapt Tomino's novel versions word for word, and we mentioned, I forgot what character it was, but one of the characters' pubic hair, which is in the book.
This is information that was probably unnecessary.
There is
highly necessary information.
There is a thing in Japanese culture where you're supposed to give like a thing of your pubic hair to the person that you're close with.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That one of the Kisses episodes did that.
Oh, yeah.
You put like a.
I actually recall a Gundam Dojinshi where they do that.
All right, well that's taken from one of the novels. That's
okay.
I forgot what character it was.
It's in Tomino's Bible.
Yeah.
But no, it was the mass production ground types. It was the Alex in 0080. It was the GPO 1, 2, and 3.
4
and technically the Jabera Tetra as well in 0083. So we just have all these really Gundam development projects that they just threw out.
Well, not only that, but there's also models and ideas that you really just didn't hear anything from again or even built upon. I mean, like,
well, that's what Mobile Suit Variations is. It's supposed to be like this thing that we designed, but it never actually saw
combat or whatever.
Like also the stuff that hasn't been animated yet, like Sentinel. So you got like all these Zeta Plus variants that you don't ever see animated.
Like one of the things that was
this entire development tree is just not in animation.
Well, one of the things I was always basically kind of disappointed about it was they never really expanded upon the Nui Zeal.
Oh yeah.
This massive, like
mobile armor.
It's the size of a ship. Mobile armor from Axis.
It's like this thing is a giant fucking
basically wasted.
Yeah,
how much money did that cost to develop? How much of Axis's money did that cost to develop that the Delas fleet basically wasted?
It's like, hopefully you kept the frickin' blueprints on that thing. I mean,
how much did the Quinn?
They probably had development data like in there that they were trying to collect that they couldn't because
how much did the Quinn Mantha cost Neo Zeon?
It's like we had to mine out an entire asteroid's worth of resources to build this thing, and it got blown up. How much did the Psycho Gundams cost?
It's like Homer Simpson's car. So he designed this thing. It's like, how much is that? We're ruined.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where he comes up with all these incredibly impractical ideas.
And that's Xeon's problem, is that they keep investing money into all these really obscure
I want spikes
side
here.
projects. Okay,
I want spikes here, and here.
Well, I mean, like, think about MS. I can't.
8th MS team.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I can't
8th MS team,
talk.
the Obsolus.
Yeah, I was just gonna say all of Guineas's little fucking stuff going on in Southeast Asia. He's like the Obsolus. Like, nothing really ever came of that.
That's the one that was closest to success.
Oh yeah.
They just give it to a crazy person.
Well, yeah, for sure. His sister was hot though.
Gray Foresters in the chat says this is information that is too much. Yeah, I gotta look that up later about the Tomino thing that I was saying.
You can look up Tomina's pubic hair.
Yeah,
you can go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and do that all by yourself. We're all set.
And here's the thing. I don't remember that part, but I do. Again, like I said, I read the second book in that series went out for 7th grade. It was the second of the 3 books. I didn't see any
no
Gundam
context with the first.
Well, that was what was available. It was like, oh, look, Gundam. I get to know what this Gundam is all about that I've been buying kits from. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this. I know there's psychics. That was all I was able to gather. I was like, of course I didn't.
There's people with psychic powers, and that's all I know.
Yeah, and because again, my context for Gundam was like the late UC stuff. The stuff that described it was like, I probably interpreted like gun cannon as a literal gun cannon.
Like it's an artillery piece.
Yeah.
So 155mm howitzer, like one of those things with wheels.
Probably. Also, poor romanization because they didn't have a standard romanization for names. So Char was spelled SHA. And
maybe they thought he was like the. Maybe if they thought he was the. Maybe they thought he was the leader of fucking Iran.
And Zaku is Zach. No, you.
Yep, that's also common.
Yeah. I like that. This is like being a Transformers fan that just found out about Kids Players. Kids Players was awesome. It's so stupid, but it was awesome. Mostly because of the salt that it generated out of that.
We should probably go to a break here.
Yes,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. We're up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. Let's turn it down so I don't deafen everyone. I have that Sonic CD track. Yeah.
Imagine if you heard this when they put you on hold.
Dude, I would enjoy being on hold. You kidding me? So it's like I'd be pissed, but then I'd be pissed at first, but then the riff comes in. Yeah, it's gonna be a good hold.
You looked exactly like fucking Dave Chappelle when he's talking about when he's on the phone and he's like, "There are some guys with some sheets outside, and they look like they mean business." He's got this great, hilarious look on his face. He's like, "I gotta go." Wasn't that from that was from the stand-up, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like killing them softly or something like that.
Yeah, killing them softly.
That's a funny one.
I remember Paul Mooney had a good one too.
Mm.
I need to actually watch it again. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I've been avoiding a lot of stand-up comedy here because it's lately just been screeching about Trump.
What I'm talking about is several years ago, like before any of this shit started.
I mean, it's completely ruined stand-up comedy for a little while for sure. Because it's just whine, you know. It's not even good points either.
The problem with these Sonic CD tracks is they're short.
I would love to know what I wrote for that book report on Gundam. I bet it's hilariously wrong.
I would never ever want to go back and see any of the shit I wrote for school. Like
I would
any kind
only
of story.
want to go back and see some of the stuff I wrote for college because that stuff was pretty ballin'. I wrote.
No. I'm referring to fucking school here.
I really didn't even give any effort back
No.
then. I didn't give a shit. But dude, I wrote this report on. It wasn't even a report. I wrote a paper on Virtualon for one of these college class. I got like a 96 on it, and the teacher read it out in front of the entire class. He was so good. So apparently, I know what I'm doing.
I just remember I got like some sort of like A triple plus or something because school in the 90s, you show up, you get an A plus.
you show up with a pencil and you're good to go.
Yeah. It's you write your name on the thing. Counts.
They give you a gold star.
I bet it's probably like the most simplistic like description of like there's these giant robots called Gundam. It's
one thing I can remember, and I don't remember the context for it.
Yeah,
it was incredibly a non sequitur. I remember that I was talking about this fucking thing about diving down in like sort of like a well type thing. It's obviously a story I made up. Clearly, it was in like elementary school or something, and I remember something about like a fucking like bird cutting the rope, falling down and busting through the roof of a KFC or some weird shit. Like I remember the entire class busted up into fucking laughter. It was just like it was something completely random, and then at the end it was just like P.S. Lego my ego or some dumb shit.
I remember back in 7th grade. So we like every week we'd have to just write out a page on basically anything.
Oh,
I had this ongoing epic tale. Really didn't have any. It wasn't particularly coherent, but it's about these two dudes who go around. They were mercenaries or something, going around doing dangerous jobs in different locations. So it was all based off of like video games. So
I wrote quite a few of those.
They're in this facility that's basically Armored Core 3. The next major part, like they're on a boat in the middle of the ocean traveling to some place, and which is basically an entire reference to like Final Fantasy X, where they're on the boat and sin attacks, and then they're in space on some weird thing, and being attacked by fighters that are basically TIE fighters but without the things on them, so they're like a little ball with laser turrets on it.
One of the things
it was weird. It was incoherent, but I got the grade. I got credit for it, so that's all that matters.
That just reminded me of how in grade school you'd always end your story "the end." You would actually say it, and that just reminded me of a great bit that I had. I think I was playing like Contra or something like that, which you can already tell where this is going.
Oh no! Never.
In one of the stories, I remember ending it, and then I shot him in the face. The end. I literally, and then I shot him in the face. What's funny about that is if you did that now, they'd probably send you to fucking counseling or something. Oh, yeah. It's like, really? Come on. It's like no sense of fucking humor.
All right,
can you upload photos into the chat?
You can post links, but I don't know if you can upload them.
Let me see. Oh, you can send file. Okay, because
Where?
Hold on. There's a little thing, and it's got an arrow and but I don't know why it isn't working. Oh, no. Okay, paste. All right, paste your content. Drag. No. All right. So yeah, you're right. You can post links, but you can't post.
Are you referring to?
I was about to praise Google.
No, not.
He's referring to IRC.
Yeah.
Oh, IRC? No, you can't do that.
All right, because I was going to show you what the cover for the second book looks like, so you got an idea.
Alrighty.
All right, ready on second segment.
I am.
They still have the novels available. They have them like in one book now.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Huh.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Hey, hang on. I need to do something that if I don't do it now, I'm gonna kick myself later.
What's on?
There we go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio.
We're gonna be talking about
So for
Backlog.
our comeback show, we're talking about what the hell we're all gonna do with all this anime we haven't watched yet.
Gee, let me think.
But and like this is at a point where I basically just accepted that I'm taking a whole lot of this backlog to my grave.
Oh yeah.
There's just some stuff that's just never going to get watched.
Oh, yeah, that's stuff. It's always the older stuff too. It's like it's always like the older. I'm glad to see that a lot of stuff like gets redone like as Blu-ray rips. So it makes me.
Thank you, Discotheque.
Yeah, legal or non-legal means. Either or.
Insert questionable noises here. Nah, but I'm the other way though. I usually tend to go back and actually watch old stuff and then miss out what's showing right now.
See, I'm weird. I just watch whatever I feel like at the time, which what that really means is I have a whole bunch of anime that I'm somewhere halfway through that I just stopped and watched something else, and then stopped that halfway through and watched something else.
Anubis's Guide to ADHD Anime Watching.
Anime like me, you're never gonna finish anything.
It's like, well, I'm about halfway through 24 series. I don't remember what's going on in most of them.
But yeah, it's like, so I'll go through, and what really happens is at some point I'll decide, I'm just gonna sit down and finish this series, and I'll watch from wherever I am all the way to the end just to finish it. Because I did that with Future Diary.
Oh, okay.
Where I was watching a few episodes and I was already close to the end, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna accept right now that I'm finishing this anime tonight. So I finished it that night.
Right. Oh, here's what I end up doing. I
enjoyed that show.
Right. Here's I think what I end up doing at some point, and believe it or not, this is actually true. I tried to keep up with it. I tried to do the season thing where I'm watching like X amount of shows as they're airing, and I just to be chatty about it, I tried to do this sometime in the 2000s. Don't do this, by the way. First off, it becomes a chore, and you don't want to do that. And second off, it just eats up time that you don't have.
I'm able to do it, but even me, I'm
at some point, I just got to the point where it's like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to watch whenever I feel like it. I'm not going to be in any rush to watch episode like, a couple days after it came out or whatever.
See, me, the reason why is I watch it as it's coming out because I'm so in tune with like what the things like fan art and merchandise that I have to see if this is something that I could get really into. So as to something that, do I want to make like fan art for this? Are there going to be figures I'm going to want from this?
Okay, let me explain it in much more simple terms. I got shit to do that gets in the way of stuff like that.
You got real life.
Yeah, basically.
What my thing is like, number one is I just purely don't have any interest in discussion of shows as they come out.
I enjoy doing that for school days.
School days is an exception.
because I think that
kind
the
of
way
show where it's that kind of show where it's like it's so what School Days is the kind of show that's conducive to that kind of thing, but the vast majority of shows, I don't think we really gain, and this is something I've mentioned on the show before. I don't think we really gain anything from being able to talk about it as it comes out.
Well, in this case, in the case of School Days, it wasn't that. It was just it gave you a week to stew with what just happened over the last half hour, and then you'd have to wait a week with it just swirling around in your gray matter. Just like, God damn it!
I don't know.
But my whole thing is I number one, I'm not interested in discussion, and number two is like I can get everything like. Visa, you mentioned the merchandise. I guess this is an advantage of being in that market as a retailer, because I just get all that news. Period.
True, but certain things
know all the stuff with the figures and stuff.
Yeah, but certain things have a certain timetable to me. Like anything Love Live that comes out, like I have to pre-order that shit now. Otherwise it's gone after by the time it comes out. Let's say I never watched.
That's why I'm saying I have that advantage as a retailer, because I distribute the pre-order. Like I'm the dude.
Yeah, but let's say I never watched any Love Live, right? Those figures come and gone. Then I watch it and say, "Oh, I'm really into this. Oh shit, I can't get any of that stuff."
You just reminded me of something like that's kind of analogous to that. If you're into something like black metal and they purposefully put out like, I don't know, a low number count of stuff just to be elitist about it.
That's like fucking Macross now.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Just to be elitist about it, and they do. A very popular pastime is to put out 666 copies. Yeah, you get it. And then once they're gone, well, they're gone. And if you didn't get one, well, good luck searching the internet. Paying absurd prices on eBay, or you're just gonna have to pirate the MP3 somewhere.
Yeah. I put something in the chat. IRC.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. But it's kind of like that, If like, oh, I'm interested in this now, where can I buy it at? Those were out of print fucking years ago, bro.
Yeah. I feel like. Well, okay, I am a fan of it too, obviously, but Macross, anything Macross now, it goes like gone overnight.
Well, number one, if you live in the U.S., you're just not going to get it at all.
Well, you can't. I mean, like stuff like Holly in Japan, like sells the stuff, but the pre-orders close right away because they have a limited, open slots for that, because obviously you know why Macross.
So correction. If you live in the U.S. and you're one of the 8 people who's watching HobbyLink Japan that closely, you'll get one. But otherwise, if you're not one of those 8 people, you're not going to get it in the U.S. Which is ass. But here,
there's some Robotech. We promise we're going to make the movie.
Harmony Gold is going to sell you. What really happens is Harmony Gold is going to sell you whatever the Robotech bullshit is.
Can we all just admit we fucking hate Harmony Gold?
I have an entire rant about Harmony Gold that I'm not going to get into right now.
Anyone that likes
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Their license is only up for another 4 years.
And I know the Japanese are actually trying to kind of get around it.
Oh, they're trying to
maneuver around it.
Because they know U.S. people will buy Macross shit.
I'll put that shit on pre-order.
But I'm just saying, who's the
RDO Plus? Give me Do Remember Love. Give me SDF Macross. Give me 7. Give me all this Macross.
But I want to know, who's the guy that's really like, yay, Harmony Gold. Like, I see stuff from the company Toynami still put out Robotech stuff. And I'm like,
what I need to do is because Harmony Gold was at Anime Boston this past year. So what I need to do is I need to peek my head into one of those Harmony. Listen, all right. There's regulations. I can't do. So what I need to do is I need to peek my head into one of these Robotech panels and just see how many people are there. And what you also need to do is like just assume that half of those people are actually into Macross and don't care about like assume half of them are into Macross. Assume 45 the remaining 45% of them are into Robotech, but just the Macross saga, and assume
It has to be the nostalgia factor.
Assume the remaining 5% are into Mospita. There's
And
nobody
zero-
nobody into
0%.
Robotech. There's nobody out here into Robotech for Super Dimension Cavalry Southern Cross.
Yeah, I was
Zero
gonna say that.
Well, okay. Let's bring up the real question here. You're a time enforcer. Do we get it or not?
Can't tell. Listen, as much as I want to tell you, as much as I want to break this good news to you, I can't tell you.
It's like, come on, I'll give you a feather and a weight.
If I had to listen,
that's a bad fucking joke.
If I had to speculate, we're gonna get Macross eventually. We're going to. It's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Macross, the original show was available for a while on DVD.
Oh yeah. We have some Macross. I've got Plus on the shelf back there.
Oh, I don't mean Plus. I mean the original show.
I mean, my point is we got some of it. We just don't have we didn't get. We need to get. We didn't get all of it, and we didn't get all of it in like original format. So we need to. They need to do what they're doing with Gundam with Macross.
Yeah. That.
I would say that.
Which I mean, speaking of Macross, to bring it back to the topic,
They would make so much money if that would be like a big seller, honestly. If things went back to
I think Discotech should try their hand at it. But if not,
Discotech,
Nozomi could try it too, I guess.
I was about to say, with what if they do the same thing with Gundam if they do with Macross the same thing they did with Gundam, you understand how monumental that would be.
I know how bad my fucking wallet wouldn't like it.
Oh, I already think they need to slow down on Gundam. If they all of a sudden picked up Macross, I'd be very upset, but I'd also be very happy.
It's like, hang on, I gotta go donate blood.
Ooh. But it's like to draw back to the topic. There's a bunch of Macross series that I'm like just haven't picked back up yet, because I get on these kicks. Like I was on a Macross kick at the tail end of after Anime Boston finished this year. I was on this huge Macross kick, so I started watching Macross 7, and I kind of fell off on that.
That's like me with like Sentai and Tokusatsu, where I get really in the mood and I watch a bunch of it, and then it's like, then I don't feel like watching it anymore for a while. But I have some that I've like saved for like the future in case I get back into it.
Exactly. And does anyone else do this? Like, does anyone else rewatch shows on accident? And let me explain this. So, it usually happens with OVAs. So I'll want to watch a scene from like Macross Plus or Gundam Unicorn. I'll watch that scene from whatever episode of it, and just end up watching the rest of it.
Oh yeah.
It's like I really want to see the assault on Torrington from Unicorn again. So that's like episode 4. I go through episode 4. Yeah, I might as well continue episode 5. There were some pretty good scenes in episode 5, so I guess I'll continue watching that.
That's just like the gambler's fucking logic. Just like, like it's okay. It's okay. I still got some money. Woo.
But yeah.
Like if you've ever been around somebody gambling like that too, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like somebody that's clearly just getting the shit kicked out of them at the machines or whatever, or the craps tables, and they're just kind of like, it's like, just one more time, I can get it back.
But yeah, like that's the issue with the way I watch anime, because it's just this. I don't have any pattern with the way I watch anime. Like I'll feel for watching something like Actually, this is what I forgot to mention. Over the break, I started on Hanasaku Iroha because I heard that it's kind of in the same vein as Sakura Trick and Shirobako. So I started watching that, and I watched the first episode and I enjoyed it, but I haven't watched any of it because number one, I'm probably gonna roll into something else pretty soon, and number two, I just felt like watching it on a whim. Like I jump from whim to whim is basically how I watch anime. It's just a really weird way, and what it leads me is this giant backlog. Every time I need to call up my backlog, I need to take out one of those long trumpets with the banner on the end of it and summon my squire with the scroll of this huge backlog. He unfurls the scroll and it comically rolls down the hall for how long it is.
It just looks like toilet paper that you accidentally dropped, and it's like shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I still haven't finished Amagami SS. It's like,
oh wow! Even I watched. I
haven't finished the last arc yet. And there's nothing stopping me. I just haven't felt like going through and.
Well, here's a way to help. Here's a way to help in those like backlog things for stuff that you know that you really like. Like that show, like Amagami's getting a re-release where it's just everything from Sentai. It's like both seasons.
Okay, VZ, you think that me owning it is gonna stop me from not watching it? Take a guess how many shows on that bookshelf that I just haven't touched.
See, with me, I'm like, if I'm buying it, it's like I'm gonna watch this. So
I haven't touched that Ica I bought. I haven't touched the Girl Who Left Through Time.
Oh.
I haven't touched Magical Shopping Arcade of Benabashi. The two Pat Labor movies that I bought at Kineticon like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, however many years ago. Still haven't watched them. It's just the screwed up way I watch anime, and don't get me wrong, it works for me. Other stuff I do.
That's one thing I will say is everybody kind of has to find their own way of doing it.
Everybody kind of falls into their own pattern.
Because what works for somebody won't work for somebody else. I'll give you another example. When I'm really interested in something, but I'm stressed for time, it's one of those things where I try to make the time. It's like, oh, in 50 minutes, I got to leave and go do some kind of work or some shit like that. It's like, oh, that's enough to squeeze in 1 or 2 episodes.
Right.
You know? And there's a certain element of fun with that, too, because then you have them in your head the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Kind of floating around. So if you saw a really good episode or it left on one that was like, oh man, I wonder what happened, you're actually more willing to watch more of them when you get back because you just want to see
exactly,
because your brain won't let you leave it open like that. It's
the other thing is I'm very much into I'm the type of person where if I'm watching something, I have to either be doing something with my hands. No, I'm not.
That is dangerous.
Or again, if I'm drawing, I just can't be drawing. I have to be watching something while I draw. So that's another way to like get through the backlog of things.
That's something I do a lot. Like I'll be playing Elite Dangerous, and I've got the joystick and the throttle and the game up on the screen, but I've also got like Crunchyroll playing on my tablet. That's how I watch a lot of Aho Girl.
Since that joke was made, this is a bit slightly off topic, but you know AMVs, right?
Yes.
Has anybody went to the trouble of making one that's just an ass-centric one while they play Fat Bottom Girls from Queen?
That wouldn't surprise me, but I haven't seen it.
Like that song's made for that.
I remember there was one on Any Shots with the thong song by Cisco.
Yeah, I actually have seen that. I've seen Baby Got Back too. So I mean, the bases are covered, you know, as they say.
Yeah. Okay. Here's something interesting. How about shows we're not going to finish? Like we just know we're not going to finish.
The worst is
for whatever reason.
It's just like, this is, I don't know. Okay, let me tell me if this is your experience with some things. Have you ever been into something that was really cool at first, but then it just peters out to the point of being awful? Like, and what I mean by that is it almost reminds you of the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons where it's awesome and you run off the cliff and don't realize you're fucking off the cliff. and then 5 or 6 episodes, you kind of look down and are like, shit.
That's certain Sentai shows where I see the potential in the beginning, but then it doesn't live up to the potential.
Anubis is sitting there thinking, this is Infinite Stratos.
Yeah, well, no, Infinite Stratos was okay. It's actually going really good, and then it turns to shit.
Oh no, I got one.
What I'm more thinking of is Kanokon.
No, I got one.
Kanokon was one where I liked it superficially, but it's sort of like I got really used to its pattern, and it's like, okay, this is just a show about every episode there's someone or someone else is trying to ruin this relationship, and it's like I'm not really feeling it, so I ended up not finishing it.
I got one. The one if her flag breaks. The one about the guy that sees flags on girls.
I know which one you're talking about. It's just like
I
remember that totally.
I like the premise, and it had a nice art style. But watching it, I wanted to like it more, but I couldn't get into it. So a couple episodes in the OVA, so I never got to finish that.
So you see, that was my experience with Divergence Eve. Liked it on concept. It's like, space and being. It's like, okay, space sci-fi stuff while you're being bombarded by huge titties.
That's also like
I don't know. I still have some kind of weird fascination with Divergence Eve. Story is actually not all that bad, but it's like
I don't know, something about it makes it hard to watch.
There was obviously a mix-up in the character design department.
Oh yeah. Those were clearly meant to be hentai.
Another one that I will never finish because you know why. Wake Up Girls.
Listen, okay? I tried to warn everyone about it. I don't know why you watched it. I don't know why some of our buddies watched it. Tried to warn everyone.
I warned you, bro.
Can we all stop pretending? Can we all stop pretending I'm not right about everything? Just listen to me.
Or you could just you could just see Yamakan's name attached to it and be like,
nope. Had some decent potential. But then
okay, and the intro movie had some decent potential, but who ended up being right? The intro movie is Harmon Force Unibus.
You, of course.
Oh, really? Okay. Are we gonna start listening to me now? For another one, I'm not gonna finish to Shuffle. And
okay, but we know that.
Yeah, this isn't a knock on the show. It's a good show.
I actually
really like the show, but I just can't deal with what they did to. I just can't deal with it.
Okay, I know another
triggered.
one. No, you continue.
Anubis is triggered by the lack of Kaede.
No, it's just they fucking just dragged that character through the mud and then blamed her for everything. It's not her fault. But that's an entire much like Harmony Gold. That's an entire other rant I can go on that I'm not going to go on.
Oh shit! What's the show I was gonna say? Man. I know. Sky Girls. Another show.
I didn't even get toe deep in that one.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, okay. Here's what I did, VZ. I listened to you and didn't watch it.
Here's the thing. I tried twice, and just like Wake Up Girls, the OVA that came a year before had some potential. But then they made the series. The first time I watched it was when it was airing, and it was 6. I watched up to 6 episodes. oddly enough, the episode 6 was probably the best one because it was the stupid episode. It was similar to like the Strike Witch's underwear episode.
Yeah. Which as a concept episode is very entertaining.
Then I was like, you know what? I like Strike Witches. Let me give Sky Girls another chance. Let me see if I could get through this. And I couldn't. I could only make it to halfway. It was it's like a 26 episode show.
So basically, like I said, it was good until you ran. It was good until you ran out of road.
I'm gonna tell you one show that ran out of road immediately, and I was pumped for this show because you know me, I love space opera. But Starship Operators.
What sunk it for you anyway?
Premise was good. Characters were all right. Art.
Starship Operators. I don't know if I've seen that. Is that? Wait, now I gotta look that up. Starship.
Studio JC staff.
Okay.
2005 anime.
For some reason, this one it's not jarring my memory though.
Huh. That's the Seed. It's a Gundam Seed character designer.
Oh, also the guy who did Fafner.
Yeah, Fafner.
Oh, if it's that person, it should have looked better. But they're on this ship, and they're on the ship, but their home planet like surrenders, so they're basically stranded. So in order to keep the ship running, they have like a TV crew come in and like film a reality show on the ship. Like it's a decent enough premise, but art, it looks atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm usually pretty lenient about that, but I just couldn't get over how the show looked. And like that was my issue with Gunslinger Girl Il Tetrino as well. Just didn't look very good at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, another show I fell off on that, and this one's a great deal more prominent than the previous two I mentioned, was Iron-Blooded Orphans. I've accepted I'm probably never going to finish.
I think I only watched like 2 episodes of that.
He just can't handle the torso.
The designs are... I can't stand the designs. They look like garbage. Most of them do.
He's just mad there's a guy named Biscuit.
I actually wish so everyone forgot about Gundam Age, and rightfully so because it wasn't very good, but his designs were amazing. Listen, hear me out. Take the Gundam Age designs, put them in IBO. Take the IBO designs, put them in Age. Then the quality of the designs will match the quality of the shows.
I'm just annoyed that nobody was into the Reconquista no G designs. Reconquista in G designs, because I think
those designs were ballin'. I think the problem is nobody was actually paying attention, so everyone pretends that it was really hard to understand when it really was not.
My thing was, dude, it's Tomino. Of course, it's not gonna make sense. Just watch it for.
It does make sense. It makes sense though.
These are the same people who think Eva doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. These are the same people who think Evangelion, the show where they take an episode out to explain everything to you, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, okay, that is true. Like the people that's like, no, Ava does explain. It's So, what have I never finished? This series I want to check out, but I just know I never will. Like Da Capo, where there's like 5 of those.
Da Capo is something I kind of want to get into, but I know where to start. I just haven't started yet. No, because I have like a trillion things to watch beforehand.
Yeah, same thing with a lot of the key stuff where I've seen like an episode of Kanon. I've seen like 2 episodes of like Clannad.
See, I might because I've watched all of them. Someone's not all the way through. them and didn't like them. Like Canon, I didn't like it first. Air, I didn't like it first. So I might go back and watch those and see if they stand up, see if I like them again. But for the most part, is like
I know Clenon's like considered the best one. I know Clenon's like the masterpiece in that genre. From what I'm telling Gray Forrester, because he said I never seen Sky Girls, and I'm like, few people have.
Probably keep it that way.
Yeah, nobody talks about Sky Girls anymore. Still talk about Strike Witches.
Oh yeah, there's still fan art being pumped out of that. Pretty
apparently a 10 anniversary something is coming up.
Cool.
Year.
All right. Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, wasn't there something they were working on anyway? I mean, like a movie OVA or something.
I don't recall hearing.
The thing that was on the Blu-ray.
Okay.
Like an OVA that had Sanya and.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Okay. Alrighty. So I mean, backlog.
Okay. What's your guys' opinion on like sites like My Anime List, like Kitsu and other stuff like that, where you can actually have your backlog?
See, my thing is I have so much that I've watched, and I have so much, and so I just and oddly enough, I'm a very categorized person, but I just don't feel like typing up all that shit or going through it. Is like, please,
See, I've got a list, but I probably haven't updated it in like 2 years. Like I'm looking at my list now. I was like, I've actually finished some of the stuff in my currently watching section.
Right.
I have to add a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so much stuff. I mean, put it this way. Way back when, I just rent things, just whatever, Oh, it's anime, rent, This is when there was a lot less plentiful in terms of, being able to get at, and before modern streaming or any of all that.
Right.
Even really before the boom, if you want. So it would just be like, oh, okay, I'll give whatever a shot because it's just a rental. Who cares if I don't like it? You know what I mean?
Right. And if you do like it, then it's like time sensitive. Like you have to finish it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So all that, but I don't actually have a list. It'd be interesting to keep one. If nothing else, just to see how much stuff I've actually seen over all this time.
Yeah. What I like about My Anime is it compiles like the total time you've spent watching anime.
I don't want to know that.
How much time you've
so how much have I spent watching all this media?
I have spent all my life watching anime, and all I could say is life well spent.
Yeah,
that just be me when the North Korean bomb comes.
Well, to be fair, you do live in a larger metropolitan area, so that would be more of an area they'd nail.
I spent all my life watching anime and collecting figures.
No, they'd go after Houston just to make it more of a fucking Earth, Wind, and Fire situation.
Oh.
Too soon. Anyway,
yeah. If I could remember to, if I could like remember to update it when I actually watch episodes, it'd be a useful tool to me. But that's my thing, is like I watch anime so erratically, and it doesn't occur to me to actually update any of these My Anime lists or what have you.
Well, here's something
it
I
just
suggest.
goes untouched for years.
It's always a good idea to have stuff downloaded and then put it like either on the hard drive or whatever. Not.
Oh yeah, I do that plenty. Like a whole bunch of this stuff, whole bunch of stuff on the hard drive I haven't finished. A whole bunch of the stuff on the shelf that stare me in the face I haven't finished.
Also, it's good fodder for this podcast for like OVAs and movies.
When we watch something for the podcast, that's when I'm motivated to watch it, because that pumps me up. So it's like, okay, cool, we're gonna go through and watch Megazone 2-3.
We're gonna see that Megazone.
I had that for the longest time.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, the grand reveal. It's actually a ship. Wah wah wah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, wow, my bad.
But that's my whole thing. Is like, it's got to be some. If you really want to get me to watch an anime, it's got to be for. And like that's sort of a thing that I do with, like, if I'm doing something for Iyashike, where I've got to watch an anime to a certain point or something like that to watch the anime. But otherwise I just skip from DNA squared to Bakuon.
DNA squared sounds like a really messed up dojin. This
is actually one of those shows I watched like back in the day, like back when I was in high school. It was one of those ones
Isn't that the one with the girl that farts? In the episode, I seen the video.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No clue.
Okay.
You said DNA squared, not methane squared.
90s anime from Madhouse.
Oh, VZ. Yeah. Keeping the podcast true to its name.
I don't know how farts have anything to do with NTR, but
yeah, just the fact that our podcast is like, the filthiest anime podcast.
You've never heard of DNA Squared? 1994 Madhouse anime?
I've heard of it. Oh, I know of it.
The name sounds familiar. I'm just making fun of the name. It sounds like some kind of strange. Doesn't it almost sound like something Shindo L would have a name for? Or even fucking Shintaro Kago.
I'm a bad guy to ask that, because all I reference for DNA Squared is the actual show.
Okay. Again, just referring to the name, nothing else. Anyway, you were saying
it's. I don't even understand how I meant. Like, it's weird. So I do an anime podcast, but that's the way I watch anime. It's just really weird to me. I still haven't finished a Kame Ga Kill yet. Like, I was a show I was pumped for like 2 weeks. It's like Kame Ga Kill.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fell off on it. And I know I'm gonna finish most of this stuff, but it's like, yeah, I guess I'll
get around to it.
Yeah. Or like one habit that I have is like I'll watch something almost all the way through week to week, but I'll fall off at like the last 2 episodes and just leave it for. I don't think I've seen the last episode of Keijo yet.
You really should fix that. That just seems like the most random thing to be just kind of like lingering on.
Oh, that's like one show where I got really close to the end, but I just never got to watching it. Was the last, because I just didn't care, was Yuki Yuna.
I'm guessing that's another one of those shows where it's like Wile E. Coyote, you run and then you just fall off the cliff on it. Because because it wasn't doing it for you.
But I did download something that I've been meaning to watch now that the whole thing's out. I watched when it came out years ago, but only halfway. Princess Lover.
Oh,
not the hentai,
Not
the TV series.
No, but that's supplementary to it.
Yeah,
it makes it better.
I've seen the hentai.
Actually,
yeah, I know, but that's
another. Yeah, that's another one that I fell off on. That's another one I need to finish.
Because that was one of those shows where it's like, wait for the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And that was before like the whole.
It's that and it's that and Walkure Romance.
To be fair, the only
two shows
in
that same vein. Two shows I need to finish.
I was only interested in that just simply for the costumes.
Mm.
Well, yeah, so was I. It's a good show independent of that, but that's the main reason.
It's a good way to well, at least for me, not necessarily you guys, to get to some of the stuff is that interim when the one season ends, but before the new one starts.
Yeah, except I don't really watch anime seasonally, so it's not.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying that's like what I do. Because holy shit, next season again might be one of the best seasons in a very long time.
Much like Anubis, I have largely stopped watching things on a seasonal basis.
I still want to talk about the next season, next show.
Well, I'm gonna ask, here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. If you answer it incorrectly, I'm gonna be upset. Have either of you two caught up on Gundam Thunderbolt yet?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, both of you caught up on Thunderbolt?
Yes, number 8.
7? 8. Okay, so I'm behind now.
Looks like it.
Listen, Thunderbolt has not missed a step. Thunderbolt's one of those things where usually I'm right on it. There's some anime that I'm just right on. As soon as I know it's out, like I'm right on it.
Yeah, your tendrils are kind of making their way toward the viewing or downloading.
Exactly. A lot of these Gundam OVAs are that way. Like when each of the Origin movies was coming out, I was right on that every time.
Yep.
Actually, I need to find out what's going on with Twilight Axis.
I saw the first episode for that Twilight Axis.
First episode as well.
Yeah, it's a short.
I kind of like. I actually really like the way they're doing those episodes because there's like still, you kind of know what's going on, but there's still a lot of mystery to what exactly is going on.
Sunrise, I think it's time that you do a Hathaway's Flash movie.
Why? What's up with the whispering?
Listen,
it's not porn.
We all know that there.
Well, it was written by Tomino, so maybe there is something in there that you know, space pubes or something.
Doing the pubic hair thing.
Oh, why, man?
We all know that each of us has our dream Gundam animation. So it's either Hathaway's Flash or Crossbone or Sentinel. You can do either of the three. We're all going to be very happy, but one of us is going to be happier than the other two.
If they ever do Crossbone, please change the character designs, though. Because if you ever see the character designs in manga, they're like way too cartoony for the material. The same one also did the manga for V Gundam at the time.
Okay.
I think I also did the manga for G Gundam. I don't know, around that time. But the character designs don't fit the material. So if they ever do that, first off, that should be an OVA series. In line of like, you know, yeah, Crossbone. Hathaway's Flash, one big movie.
Yeah, I think any of our three could work as either a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of these is gonna work as a full series, unless they do what they did with Unicorn and make it OVA first, and then just split it up into individual episodes.
Yeah, I suppose. Although since we're creeping ever closer to the 40th anniversary, certainly they've probably got something.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I heard
with this 40th anniversary.
Yaz, the original character designer, wants to do a redo of the original Gundam.
I actually, while that's fine, I'd actually rather them not.
Yeah, I'd rather them.
I'd rather them just do something new, because how many other stuff on there like Seed and whatnot already kind of.
Well, here's the thing: they're already redoing. They're already redoing the original Gundam. That's what the origin is.
To a certain extent, a lot of
in a way.
The origins are. I can't actually figure out that with whether the animation for the origin is actually a prequel or if it's the alternate retelling that the manga is. So I'm an idiot. I can't figure that out. I don't know. But I don't think they need to remake original Gundam. I really don't. Either do one of these 3 OVAs that one of us want, or Mobile Suit Gundam 0082. The fuck is Zeon gonna try this time?
Mobile Suit.
Pick a year in the Universal Century and just
after V Gundam. There you go. After V Gundam.
No, not even that. Between F91 and V. There you go.
Or that.
There's plenty of stuff in that.
I was about to say, pick a year in the Universal Century between 0079 and 0096. Make up a Zeon Remnants faction and have them do something.
Make up a brand new faction that came and went. There you go.
Just like the Delaz fleet. Make up a group of Zeon Remnants that just hit out or just flew around space.
Space aristocrats.
Yes, there's a bunch of space aristocrats flying around space.
That was basically Victory, though.
Well, but that was also F91 too, because they were all like aristocratic and
Yeah.
But yeah, just invent a faction.
Just make up a Zeon faction. Have them
invent another Amuro clone. Have the prototype of the Mobile Suit be built by their parent.
Somebody smacks them in the face when they're not doing it right.
Villain.
We don't need to do all that. Just make up a Zeon Remnant faction. Make up a.
No, I'm joking that how this is how a lot of how Unicorn has all those checklists.
Well, yeah, because Unicorn's Unicorn's kind of different from the rest of the OVAs. Let's be real. Unicorn is a lot closer to First Gundam than 0083 is to First Gundam. Want to say, just make up a Zeon Remnant faction. Make up a Gundam development project that the files were deleted for afterward, and go wild with it. Make up some weird. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna add one. They could do Sentinel, or they could do the Blue Destiny. The Blue Destiny, because that's just some weird out there stuff for Gundam. Like even for Gundam. Okay, we have this pseudo new type system in our mobile suit. It's powered by the tortured soul of this one new type we have in the lab. This isn't a joke, by the way. This is the actual plot. It's powered by the tortured soul of some new type they just locked away.
You know what else they could do that would be really again, they could do the thing where they just focus in on one element of something, sort of like how MS 8th team.
Take a section of Earth and just what's going on there throughout this. They really have plenty, even just the 1 year war.
Oh yeah,
plenty of theaters of war. There's plenty of places they could go and make an entire OVA just based on that.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, going back to basically the main topic, dealing with backlog can just, I don't know. The longer I've been into this, the less I really care about.
Yeah, it took me forever to get to like Double Zeta, which I was like years been wanting to like. It's like I gotta get through, at least the UC stuff. Now I need to get to like V Gundam.
Yeah,
I need to.
Yeah, Double Zeta is what I'm really working on right now as far as UC stuff, and like this is stuff I'm pumped to watch. Like I would, especially after Zeta. Double Zeta is like a breath of fresh air.
You're not really watching. You're not really watching
fresh air. Well, here's the thing: they couldn't have made it darker. Like how?
You're not. No. But Anubis, Double Zeta doesn't count as anime. You're not really watching anime.
Only the first half. Then they changed the opening.
It's not anime.
Anyway,
no,
that would have been a hilarious sticker on like the first set. By the way, like in this,
not anime.
This is not anime.
Like they have to put it in a different section of the video store.
And while that's all funny and stuff, that kind of humor and shit, I don't actually like when people do that.
Put this in like the exercise section.
They have one of those in America now.
I was about to say.
They used to have those in video stores.
No, I mean an exercise section.
Put it in the same section. You'll find like documentaries about farms.
I was gonna say exercise. What are you talking about? This is the United States. Fucking people consider that walking to their car is part of their exercise. I mean,
pizza is a vegetable.
There you go.
In America, pizza is a vegetable. We have pizza trees,
Another thing they could do that would be really good is they could really expand upon the seed side story stuff, like Red Frame and all that.
That would make me happy because I don't like Seed, but I do like some of these. I do like this friggin' a Stray thing they got going on.
Yeah, Stray.
I need to check out Stargazer. I need to check out Stargazer. That's on the backlog of stuff I need to check out. Is Stargazer.
You will like Stargazer.
Yeah, I'm also been debating if I ever want to like check out like Turn A Gundam, because I seen the compilation movies years ago when I was in school.
Oh, you haven't seen Turn A Gundam's on the backlog. I'm still like a quarter of the way through. I'm really enjoying Turn A.
Also, G Gundam.
Like it's just nothing like anything. Like, just not like anything else as far as.
Also, G Gundam because I really like the G stuff.
G, I finished. I'm convinced I finished. I'm done with G. Like I don't know if I watched every single episode, but I watched. I watched enough to.
Do you like
basically
G?
Be done with it? Oh, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's far from my favorite Gundam.
I don't think I'll watch like X or
really.
X is pretty good, man. X is pretty good.
I was gonna say X is probably the best one that's not the UC.
See, I have some like other older shows that I really need to like been checking out. Like I've been meaning to check out the show Zillion, which is pretty much by the Sega Master System, the anime. That's the way I describe it as.
But yeah, the longer I've
been, there's some other stuff. This is
because I'm a fan of that era of Sega, where it was like I knew about Sega before Sonic the Hedgehog, and I like Sonic the Hedgehog, but Sega to me was awesome before then. So,
see, you're like me. I'm like you in like 95, where it's like there was this gap between the Genesis where everybody knew about Sega and the Dreamcast where everybody knew about Sega. I thought Sega was cool before the Dreamcast. It's like Nobody knows about fucking Sega Saturn, which is painful to me because one of the best consoles.
And I had the Game Gear before the Genesis, so.
But I digress. There's a couple shows that, and again, more shows that I'm pumped about, but I kind of fell off on. Gonna finish later. Quest of the Stars. A friend of the show.
I remember that one.
Yeah, Sukioki Magi put me onto this show, and I have no idea how I didn't watch this show before.
See, I just assumed that you probably already had.
Yeah, like this is like Legend of the Galactic Heroes level of right up my alley.
Oh, I know something that's on your backlog.
Well, all right. Let's see if he gets right.
All the rest of the Monogatari stuff.
Yeah. God, don't remind me.
Yeah, which I really recommend.
You need to slow down.
I recommend the movies. Those are really good. The movies did really.
I'm gonna watch all of it. So all of it's gonna get watched. You just need to.
And the one that came out like 2 weeks ago. All I'm saying is
one came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. The thing was like on in 2 days.
Slow down, Shaft. Slow down. Wait for me to catch up, Shaft.
Well, in any case, the longer I've been a fan, the less I care about the backlog, because it's like, well, even if you were able to finish all of it, you would just make another one.
Yeah. Like more anime will come out and you'll fall off on that too.
Yeah, exactly. So I've never really been it's like trying to outrun death.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to work. So there you have it. As for techniques, I mean, for going through it, I mean, it really depends on your viewing style to begin with. It
depends on your viewing style. It depends on how much time you have. It depends on like where and how you watch anime.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, no one. I don't think no two people do it exactly alike.
Right.
I mean, just us three talking has very different angles at it right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're just three random people,
Three dudes who they let have microphones.
Yeah. Cthulhu, that was your first mistake.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Dealing with backlog. I mean, I certainly have things that I haven't gotten around to yet that are still there. Hell, I've forgotten more stuff than I can. I guarantee I've forgotten stuff that I wanted to watch and I never did. And now I just don't remember it all.
Full thing for me is that there's stuff on my shelf that I haven't even touched. I feel bad that I haven't even watched a whole lot of this stuff. Okay, but so here to close out this episode, what's one? Okay, everyone, give me one show from your backlog that you're at least gonna watch some of by next episode.
Okay.
Ultimatum.
I got one. The one the translate says, "I don't understand what my husband is saying."
Oh,
I have both seasons on.
It's another one that's on my backlog.
Well,
but I'm not. That's not the one I'm gonna watch. I will watch that first Pat Labor movie that I have on my shelf back there.
Excellent choice.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just look at some OVAs I just never got around to, or even maybe pick up.
These are always good.
Or maybe even pick up Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Who knows? We'll see.
So what's really going to happen is like Kagaz and I are going to gush back and forth like we're gonna this fountain just going into each other's mouths about Legend of Galactic Heroes for 15 minutes.
That sounded incredibly foul, man.
Can I recommend some OVA or you want to just pick on your own?
You can, but ultimately, whatever I'm interested in is just going to be one of those. That
I will absolutely add more to my backlog, VZ. Yes.
I was gonna say.
I know what I'm gonna watch, but I'll add to my backlog.
I was gonna say Hades Project Zero Rhymer.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be an excellent show, just an episode on that.
Well, again, we'll get around to things. There'll certainly be more of those OVA.
I have not watched this since 2010. I remember that because that was the first year I met you.
Yeah.
So it was around that time. So that'd be a good one in the future.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in any case, basically, find what works for you. Try out a few different ways of doing things. And in my opinion, don't get too upset if you can't do it, just because.
Don't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your list is never truly going to end.
Yeah,
so.
just accept that there's stuff that you're never ever gonna watch. Like you're never gonna get to everything that.
Yeah, don't make a big deal about your backlog. Treat it as a joke. Talk about it like I do with the squire and the scroll.
Yeah, one more
and
thing.
The trumpet with the banner at the end of it.
Actually, one more thing before we end. I really hate the term, because ANN used to use this. I hate the term "pile of shame" as the term.
Is that what it's referring to?
Yes, I hate that because it's like shame means stuff that's really bad. It's like, no, it's shameful that I have this backlog of stuff. It's like
that sounds really off point there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really off point. Don't be ashamed of. Weird to me that I feel the need to say this. Don't be ashamed about your backlog. Be happy that there's that much anime you want to watch.
So
be really glad that there's that much media out there that you are interested enough in to want to watch it later.
Yeah, the once upon a time where you felt like there was so little. It's like I need more of this.
Yeah, where you wanted more anime to watch, and then you're like me, and you like me, and you watch Starship Operators and find out it's bad, and you're kind of relieved that you don't have another anime to watch.
No. It's like The Simpsons, where Homer goes to hell and they're shoving donuts in his mouth for eternity.
So you like donuts?
Well, have all the donuts in the world, and then you're almost out of them, and he's just like, more. He's like, I don't understand. Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, no third segment. In fact, that's going to be part of the thing. Unless it calls for it, we're not going to bother anymore.
Yeah, unless it's warranted, unless we have emails, unless we have an actual second topic, or unless we're talking about unless we're going over the next season chart. The third segment is not going to be a thing that we do every single episode.
Yeah, consider it pruning.
Yeah, streamlining. Less work for me, lower file size, less time listening to the podcast. Well, a shorter podcast, more condensed.
Anyhow, I think that's going to wrap it up. We're feeling a little rust here.
That is indeed the show. I'm kind of shaking off the rust. We got back into it really quickly, though. I feel really good about this episode. The website is ntrradio.net. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. You can check out VZ's stuff at vzmk2moe.wordpress.com. You can check out yashike.moe with a brand new site up. It looks fantastic, if I do say so myself, because I made it. Check out shinakiba.moe for all your half-naked anime girl figures. Out the Bakugaijin Show and Otaku Midnight, because both of those podcasts are really good. Check me out on Twitter at TAnubis. VZ on Twitter at VZMK2. KGods out on Twitter at classic_KGods. And the show out on Twitter at NTR Radio. As always, I'm Tom Forster Anubis.
I'm KGods.
I'm VZ. Still at Mark 2.
And even though our backlog gets even longer every time we say it, this is NTR Radio.